So you guys have been wanting to know, and you guys are eagerly wanting to know actually, how do you find out about love marriage in a horoscope? How do you see if somebody's going to get married through a love marriage or somebody who should get married through an arranged marriage? And since I have a lot of people who follow Western astrology and have the Americanized way of thinking, they might be thinking, hey, in the United States, there's less than 3% arranged marriages. So how do you define that? Why is everybody getting love marriages? Because that's the only thing that happens now in this country and many other countries, including India, that people are just falling in love and getting married. So how do you signify the fact that in a horoscope, they may not have the alignment of love marriage? Well, this is why, ladies and gentlemen, there's over 52% divorce rate in the United States of America, because of the fact some people are not supposed to be marrying through arranged marriage. Some people are not supposed to be marrying through love marriage. And most of the time, literally 95% of the time, people are just not matching the horoscope properly to really find out if this is the person for them or this is the companion for them for life. But we're not going to discuss that right now. What we're going to discuss is what are the combinations in a horoscope that signifies a love marriage. So this is quite actually simple and easy. The main significator of love is Venus, okay? And then if you logically think, without even thinking about astrology, what is a love marriage? Love marriage is something that first turns into a romance. Romance is the honeymoon of your married life, okay? This is where you're excited to see that person, you are excited to call and text that person, you can't wait to hang out with them, can't wait to see them for movies and dinner on Friday nights or Saturday nights, late night ice cream. Shit, I've done that a lot. So, that's romance, and that leads to a marriage. So romance is fun. Romance is something that you enjoy, like a creative thing. So Venus, love, and fun, 5th house. This is probably the most important thing you should know, that the 5th house, Venus in the 5th house, definitely signifies a love marriage, okay? But there's even a simpler triggering point for love marriage, because I have seen people getting a love marriage and successful love marriage with Venus in the 5th house, 7th house, 11th house, 1st house, 2nd house, even the 3rd house, even the 9th house. So my lesson to you is, first of all, is do not think about the houses. Love marriage can happen in any house with Venus, okay? Next, what you really need to see is the aspect of Mars on Venus. So it doesn't matter if your Venus is even in the 8th house, or if Venus is in the 12th house or 11th house, okay? But if it's in conjunction with Mars, or if it's aspected by Mars from its 4th, 7th aspect, not 8th. 8th is kind of bad aspect. That kind of actually separates the marriage. But 4th and 7th aspect, it creates a passion in a relationship. That's a triggering point of love marriage. So it's okay if your Venus is not in 5th, 7th, 11th, or 2nd house, which really signifies a love marriage. It can be even in the 9th house. But if Mars is aspecting it, if Mars is sitting with it, then it gives a strong indication that this person's going to get into love marriage, because Venus is love, Mars is passion. And when you combine these two together, it creates love, romance, and passion, which happens before marriage, okay? And another indication that you want to see, that if it's in your main birth chart, you do not have Mars or Venus aspect, and Venus is not in the 2nd, 5th, 7th, or 11th house, which really signifies a love marriage, and Venus is in such an awkward place that you just don't feel you're going to get love marriage and you're in love with the other person, well, you want to check this other thing called the D9 chart, the divisional chart of your life. Okay, that's the 9th house surgically opened, and you look into the D9 chart in Vedic astrology, because each house has to be surgically opened and looked at and analyzed. Each situation has to be looked at and analyzed, and marriage is seen from the D9 chart. And in that chart, you also have to look at aspects and conjunctions. So if Mars aspects Venus, or Mars is in conjunction with Venus in the D9 chart, that triggers a love marriage. Okay. In the main birth chart, Venus and Moon together, because Venus and Moon together makes a person very sensual. They always just want to experience the finest things in life. They always, even though it makes them very clever, they want to experience the finest things in life. So when it comes to marriage, they want to experience the finest part of marriage, which is love. That means being in that, unbelievable esoteric romance before they get married. So they really look for that. So this is another indication of a love marriage, Venus and Moon conjunction, especially in the 5th house and 11th house. 11th house is a house of network, fun, friends. So if it's an 11th house in your friend circle, you might be introduced to your lover. You might be introduced to your future husband. But main trigger point, what you really want to see, always pay attention to, is the Mars aspect on Venus or Mars conjunction Venus. Okay, and don't be in a misconception that Mars Venus creates a divorce. No, that's Venus and Sun. But Mars and Venus creates passion and friction. Okay, so when you love somebody so much, you're always gonna have friction, because you are living in the same roof. There's things happening, so it creates that, that, what can I say, fireworks. So you can't look at it in a bad way either. It just creates fireworks. Like sometimes you get mad at the other person, your husband or wife, but it kind of makes you love them more. That's what really happens with this combination. And also in traditional Vedic astrology, they also look at the placement of Venus from the Moon. So if you were to get your birth chart and you move the entire chart where Moon comes into the ascendant sign, which is called the Moon Rashi chart, if Venus is in the 5th house from the Moon, okay, 5th house from the Moon or 7th house from the Moon, it also gives a good indication that this person is going to get a love marriage. Okay, so these are like the basic, very basic stuff that I tell you. Otherwise, if I go into detail of things, it's going to take me another 20 minutes, which I might do someday, and really tell you exactly how to look at a love marriage, because then the nakshatra comes into place, the degrees come into place. Okay, so you want to look at those things as well. But these are the main things. These are something that you can really quickly judge that, okay, this is what's happening. And I'll discuss arranged marriage too in some other video. But since you guys have been requesting it so much in my inbox, I'm like, okay, let's just make it. So guys, this was my basic analysis on a love marriage in Vedic astrological chart. And so if you're new to my channel, hey, subscribe above. And if you want to know more about astrology, check out the link below. Otherwise, I gotta go in there because it's gonna start raining soon. All right, so yeah.